Okay, this is CC Fujan. You know, CC, when we look at your butterfly, I like what you're doing with your hips. You're doing a nice job keeping your body pretty flat. As your hands exit the water, see how you're hooking your hands out front? It's not really necessary. What I'd like you to try to do is stretch through your hands forward. We don't want to be in a situation necessarily where your wrists are so high above your elbows. So as you reach forward, try to pitch your thumbs down a little bit more, and I try to stretch out over it, and I think that'll help out quite a bit. We'll take a look at it from underneath here. I mean, you're doing a pretty good job not dropping your elbows, but you can see that as you pull back, your elbows are leading your hands. What we'd like to do is try to make sure that our hands and our elbows, as we pull, are on the same plane pulling backwards. So your hand, we want it to be directly under your elbow as early and as long as possible when you do that pull phase. Into the backstroke. I really like your backstroke, and I think that this is something that you can make some big steps forward in going into next year. You know, your walls are pretty good. Your rotation is what's really good, and I think that, you know, when we look at this underwater, we're gonna see some other things. But nice body position. I think you can stand to rotate your left arm up a little bit higher. That might just be a question of keeping your right hand a little bit deeper. A little deep on this breakout. No need to go so deep. But you can see as you pull, you're leading with your thumb. Again, it's kind of the same thing that we were just talking about. We want to have our hand perpendicular to the bottom of the pool. Right now, when you lead with your thumb, it's like you're throwing the water down. You're not being able to hook up with your whole hand. The other thing is you're stuttering your kick a little bit. It's not following the same kick pattern. It kind of goes big kick, little kick, and then that little kick doesn't always get past your foot. Want to equalize that out and keep it smooth all the way through. This looks good. I like your timing. I like how your hands get out just as you start that kick. You're able to actually lunge through the streamline. That's good. One thing, though, on your extension, look at your elbows, how they're lower than your hands. Never want to have your elbows lower than your hands. You're bringing them back to the right point. We've got to get those elbows up higher, both in the pull phase and as your hands extend forward. We want to keep them a little bit higher, so right away we can get into the pull. Let's see what you're doing here. You can really see it here. It's kind of like you fall forward and your hands are saying stop out front. The palms of your hands, that your fingertips are up. We want to keep everything down so that we're extending forward, and that way we're extending down, and as you extend forward, your hips can ride up a little higher. You can be a little bit flatter on top of the water. Remember, off your pullout, hold that streamline, and as you split your hands, don't lift your head until you split your hands. You're kind of lifting it early, and it's goofing you up a little bit. Okay, into the freestyle. You can kind of see it's a lot like the butterfly. You're reaching forward, and right away you roll that elbow down. I'm going to send you another video to look at as well as this one, and you can take a look at it. But it's going to show you maybe the attitude, the way your elbow should be. Look at that right elbow, how it drops in, and it's almost like your elbow goes in first. You want to keep that elbow up higher longer so that your hand extends out, and your elbow should almost feel like it's pointing up in the air rather than the side. Let's see if we can see this here. Yeah, you can really see it, how that elbow comes down, and you're actually carrying air down with that elbow as it comes in. Want to keep that in higher, pierce down and get more of an extension, and then you can go into more of a straight arm. But right now, those elbows are just a little bit too low, both in the recovery and the pull. Nice job.